Hello, welcome back to Key Comic Universe. I'm back here today with another video, doing another comic haul. This one is a lot smaller, but it's a lot more of big books. There are two smaller books I will go through first. I did get some other smaller books as well, but I just don't think that's really important to talk about those in this video. Maybe another video. This video I'm just going to mainly focus on bigger key/bigger books. But anyways, before I get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, then I would recommend it. It would be pretty cool of you. It would be pretty nice. Also, check me out on Instagram at Key Comic Universe. That's where I sell books. That's where I make deals. That's where I talk about other books, talk about other topics, do live shows, a bunch of fun stuff that you should check out. It would be pretty cool. But anyways, let's get right into this. So starting off, we got Radioactive Spider-Gwen issue number 5. Honestly, I didn't even know this was really a book until my buddies was like, hey, I'm trying to move this book. Hook me up. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. And the book does have some decent value behind it. Cho variant, pretty cool book. Honestly, nothing too crazy, but it's a decent book. Decent value. This one isn't perfect. It has some color rub, but outside of the color rub, it's pretty nice, and I think it still could get a high grade on this one. For sure. But yeah, that's the first book, Spider-Gwen, or Radioactive Spider-Gwen, issue number 5 variant, done by Cho. Next book is just a classic, in my opinion. And that is Hulk, issue number 16. First full red She-Hulk, her first cover appearance. Really cool book. Again, nothing crazy. This book has had sales kind of all over the place. Luckily, this one is super high grade, super nice. CGC, CBCS candidate, in my opinion. But yeah, just a really nice book. Nice key. Kind of more on the minor side, but still. You never know what Marvel will do. Maybe one day they'll introduce this character. I don't know. But anyway, it's still a good book. And let's see. Time to get into the bigger books. I'm just trying to figure out which order I want to do these in. I guess I'll go small to large on these. Or, well, not really, I guess. You'll understand in a second what I mean. But anyway, I'm going to move this off to the side and get into it. Okay. So, as people know, I am a pre-code horror fan. I love pre-code horror. I pick up too much pre-code horror. And then I also end up sometimes selling some of my pre-code horror. So, that's why you should check me out on Instagram. During live shows, I love showing off or even selling some of my pre-code horror books. But I'll get into the latest pickups. First one, Tomb of Terror issue number 3. Nice book. Now, there's a little bit of a story behind this book. and me trying to find it. So, back when I was getting into pre-code horror, this was one of the first books that really, caught my attention. And I was like, oh, maybe I can find it out there. And the only copy I could find was a copy out on, eBay and my comic shop with mold and water damage, and I was like, no. And then another one eventually came up, but it was way too high of a price. It was just some ridiculous asking price. It might even still be out there for sale. And I was like, no. We don't do that here. But anyways, finally found one. Finally found someone. Kind of a little bit of a missed opportunity for this person. They didn't use any good tags or any eye-catching titles for the listing, and I was able to sneak in and grab it a few minutes after it was posted. And that is Tomb of Terror number 3. Nice, good girl artwork cover on it. Cool zombie cover. A lot going on. Nice black cover. This one isn't high grade, obviously. For anyone that's watching this video, I hope you can see this clearly. This book is not high grade. Now, it is a readable, nice, presentable, lower grade book with good page quality. Top staple is still in there real nice. Bottom staple is detached from the cover. But what we're going to do, there's also a little bit of some really small spine splitting on this book, but nothing crazy. It's so small that I really don't consider it too much of a defect compared to everything else. But Tomb of Terror, actually, I kind of have a mixed reaction to the actual stories in this book, or in the books in general. They're a lot more, I don't want to say tame, but a lot of the storytelling is a bit more tame for some of the Tomb of Terror books. And sometimes the most eye-catching part of these books isn't the actual stories or what happens in them, but it's more just the covers with these. And I'm just going to say this now. Tomb of Terror definitely had some awesome covers. Always really nice looking. but for the actual interiors, it's hit or miss in my opinion. Hit or miss, but still good reads. That's just kind of my thoughts on it. Happy to have this book added. Yeah, cool book. Okay, what book am I doing next? I guess I will be doing this one. This is Eerie, issue number 9. Ooh yeah, that is some classic pre-code horror right there. And by classic I mean just super recognizable art. I'm horrible with artists' names, don't judge me. But this kind of design, this kind of look to the cover, not super uncommon at the time from Untitled. Avon definitely did some really good pre-code horror stuff, in my opinion. Never really gets talked about unless you're like, into pre-code horror. You won't really ever hear someone be like, oh yeah, I really like Avon. But, I actually really like their stuff, personally. Once again, the covers are really amazing. Nice kind of like ghost cover, I guess. I'm going to go with a ghost cover. But yeah, just a really good book. This one does present really nicely for the grade. Bottom staple is detached. Does have a bit of a spine split going on. Not complete spine split, but enough where it's noticeable if you look right down here, from about right here all the way down. It is split, but it's still readable. The page quality is absolutely amazing on this book. So I gotta give props to whoever owned this book back in the day. Thanks for at least keeping this book out of the sun. But yeah, no, it's still a good book. Great read. Great time. Okay, next book. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about this one. So the next book is Beware, issue number 5. Now, Beware, I really love the artwork for Beware. It's definitely some of the better artwork for pre-code horror. Now, this book, honestly, not my favorite artwork from the series. I think issues 9, 10, and even like some of the other Beware series definitely have some better artwork. But what works for this book is just kind of like the cover design. The layout looks really nice on it. Definitely very solid. This book rarely comes up to market. The only one on eBay right now is some stupid, ridiculous price that shouldn't be that high. Like, I get why someone's asking that much price, like such a high price for this book, because it's a hard book. It's a tough one. This one's actually a pretty decent copy. Not perfect, but it's pretty decent. It does have a little tiny chunk right there, and does have a little tiny spine split down the bottom. But I mean, outside of that, and then also the top corner. Ugh. But who cares? It still presents super well. Staples are nicely in there. Good page quality. Good grade pretty decently based upon what I've seen. So this could be a good CGC candidate, honestly, despite the issues. And just because it's one of the tougher books from the series to find, it seems. But yeah, if you see this book, I would recommend picking up. It's an awesome book. Great cover. Cool werewolf stuff. Love those werewolf stories. Okay, only a few more books left. And I'm saving the biggest book for last, of course. Because that's how we do it here. Always saving the biggest book for last. But we're not even there yet. We still got a few more books. Next up is MENACE number 6. This is another tough book. So I almost didn't even buy this book. Not because of price or anything like that. Just because, like, with Atlas pre-code horror, it's kind of tougher to, like, if you're going to sell it, it's kind of tougher most of the time. Most of the stuff is usually out there in higher grade. That's still pretty affordable. But for whatever reason, MENACE is one of the few exceptions to that rule of Atlas just not being, like, the best. Not saying that the stories aren't good or anything like that. It just, Atlas literally, the covers kind of ruin it in some ways because, these little, like, story panels down here. You just want to see the full cover. You want to see everything that's going on, but instead you get these little tiny panels. But anyways, this is still one of the better covers, in my opinion, from Atlas. And I was surprised how tough this book is. So when I was doing research on this book before buying it, because I always do research, I'm not going to go out there and spend money just because I can. No. I want to be a solid, like, if I'm going to make an investment in a book, I want it to be solid. So, back in 2020, actually 2 no grades of this book sold for around $100 each. Right now, there's one out there online for close to $200 that is covered in mold, probably more mold than the actual book. So, a little bit of an issue there. But then I found this copy that was really solid, minus this corner. All the staples are still firmly attached, good page quality, good presenting cover, not a lot of issues outside that, no spine splitting, nothing like that. Sure, spine creases, whatever, what are you going to do? But a really nice solid copy for this book, and I was like, wow. And so I was able to get this book for a reasonable price, and yeah, I just didn't know how tough this book was and decent grade. Now, I even went out on it to Heritage, which I hate using. It's kind of like my last resort. Like, if I can't find literally anything, I have to go to Heritage every once in a while. And this book was even tough out there. Not very many. Most of them are lower grade that I've sold. So, yeah. Happy to pick this one up. Doesn't come up to market very often, and just seems like a really tough book. Now, I could be completely wrong, considering that pre-code horror has been a huge flux, with a lot of people buying every decent copy of a book out there, and this crazy price increases. But, you know what? Happy to grab that one. Okay, next up. This is a book well, I'll just show it. Dark Mysteries number 13. Okay, so this was one of the first horror books I ever saw growing up. There was this book years and years ago that was basically like an art book for pre-code horror covers and giving background to them. I forget what the book is called off the top of my head. I have a copy of it somewhere in my place. But basically this was one of their prime examples of just great pre-code horror cover. And I 100% agree. And then this book, again, any type of decent grade, crazy money. Even low grade, crazy money is what people ask for this book. Not very many copies are ever out there. Like, I've seen 0.5 sell for crazy money before, which, okay. I've seen decent copies sell for even crazier money, and I was like, yeah, this is a book I'll eventually one day get, just doesn't come to market very often, just kind of a pain. And one came up, and it's a pretty nice copy. Now, this copy isn't perfect either. This book suffers from this particular copy suffers from a lot of spine damage. Now, the staples are still firmly attached. Just the rest of the spine is, like, up here, a little bit of tape, repair, and then about, I would say about inch and a half. Well, not even an inch and a half. It's probably closer to an inch, if not exactly an inch, spine split. And then just a little bit of tears on the spine that kind of got pushed in. But anyways, that's all besides the point. Super tough book. Still super nice copy. Staples firmly in there. Cover presents amazing. Like, still has a nice gloss. The inside pages still bright, vibrant, supple pages. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to feel when you're reading through one of these books. The cover, beautiful cover on this book. So I can't get over that enough. I don't care about the spine. If it's readable, if it's still nice, if it's not falling apart, I'm happy. No mold, I'm happy. Mold's like the only thing I really avoid. Like, that's the one thing where I'm like, I will never buy a book with mold. That's just one of my rules. I will never buy a book with mold. Okay, second last book, and we're getting to the big boys now. Oh yeah, by the way, those weren't the biggest ones. The last two, these are the big boys. Weird Mysteries number 6. Now, this book is another one of those books when I was first getting pre-code horror, this was one of the books where I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can eventually afford this book, even if I have to drop $1,000 or whatever crazy amount of money I would drop on this book, I can eventually afford this one. And that was like one of my goals months and months ago, pick this book up. There was one on eBay saying at $800 for best offer, which seemed a bit high, and every single other book was higher than that. So I basically got into this situation where I was like, man, this is a tough book. It's not uncommon like this book. I see copies out there all the time. But the price you're going to pay for this book, that is the crazy part. You are not going to get this book for cheap. I did not pay a cheap price. My copy isn't perfect. This copy has issues. But, you know what? Sometimes you just have to put down the money and pick up a book that has a big future. I think this book is definitely underrated in my opinion. Unless you're like really into like some more obscure pre-code horror stuff, or unless you're really into this type of pre-code horror, no one really talks about it. And even though everyone knows what it is, there's really not too much discussion on this particular issue. But I think it's one of the better covers of the series. Definitely a really good book. Nice, gory cover. Yeah. Nice decapitation cover. The cover has nothing to do with the inside book, but who cares? Awesome cover, awesome book. Definitely a good one. Definitely a tough book, in my opinion. Okay. Now, we have reached the largest book of the day. This book is at least double what the previous book is, like on fair market value. This book is insane. I did not expect to buy this book for at least another 4 or 5 years. I was not even planning on picking this book up anytime soon because I was thinking this book is going to keep on growing, it's going to keep getting more expensive, and I won't be able to pick this book up. Luckily, and I'm going to shout this person out right now, luckily, Nickel and Dime on Instagram had a copy for a trade where he was looking to get a lot of smaller books for one large book. And if you guys know me, I love smaller keys. I love books that are minor keys, just keys, but I don't have a ton of Grails. So I was like, okay, I think I can make a deal. Reached out to him. He was like, okay, I'm going to get back to you. I have other people interested. Dude reached back out. Was like, hey, you came here with the best offer. Let's work out a deal. We were able to come to an agreement, and here we go. Fantastic Four, issue number 60, or not 60, ignore me, the year is 1966 when this book came out. This is issue number 48. First appearance of Silver Surfer, and first cameo, I almost consider a first full appearance in a lot of ways, of Galactus. And before people were like, oh, well, it's not a first full appearance, it's a cameo, I have my own thoughts. Anyways, and I said almost as well. I'm kind of iffy on it myself. But anyways, amazing book. Great book to add. Presents super well on the front. That's the key. It presents super well on the front. I'm going to bring this up just a bit. Boom. 3.0 off-white to white pages. Now this book looks like a 4.0, maybe even 4.5. It looks really nice on the front. The problem is the back. Now, the back isn't horrible. Maybe one day I'll reach out to someone who has a ton more experience than me on cleaning and pressing and see what they can do. But the problem is that the back of this book has, not staining per se, I guess in some ways, but just a lot of residue on the back, a lot of dirt, a lot of grime, and then whatever that is, pain. Literally, whatever this is just pain. It's like, why? But anyways, presents super well. Yeah, just a dream book. I'm like living the dream right now. I'm picking this up, but yeah, just a great book. Happy to have it in the PC for a while. Good investment. Super happy. Thank you so much to Nickel and Dime. I'll also be checking him out on Instagram, of course, just for such a huge find, and just being able to help me out getting a huge Grail. Not saying that none of the other books I showed aren't keys or Grails or whatever, but this one was the one where I struggled with finding a decent copy, where I thought, okay, if I want a decent copy, I'm going to wait years to be able to pick one up. And sometimes you are just, I don't want to say lucky, because that just feels so disingenuous and makes it sound easy, but sometimes opportunity comes to you, and if you have put in the work in the past, you're able to pick up the books that you want to be able to get. So even though it's a 3.0, it's better than what I expected for myself. I'm happy with it. Boom. That's it for this comic haul. This video might come out a couple days after I'm done recording. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, I would recommend it. It would mean a ton to me. It would really help out the channel. Check me out on Instagram at KeyComicUniverse, where I do a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.